So, the contents that we are going to discuss today are like this. Number one, we are going to talk about the power of pipeline, network, and network marketing, and then the myths versus the facts. What's actually happening within a direct selling or network marketing business? What are the different types of multi level marketing? The types of distributors, the steps involved, and the success secrets. To get the best out of this presentation, I would request you to please watch this till the end with an open mind. Remember, you are investing your time. Please have your brains and minds open. Have a notepad handy if you want and note down each and everything. Give it time to understand and think. Take a decision, wise decision, advised decision, suggested decision at the end of this presentation. Let me tell you a beautiful book's crux into very short time. Was a village. Inside that there was a well, and to get drinking water into the well, all the villages have decided to request two of their youngsters in the village to carry buckets from a nearby water body. It could be a pond or a river or something, and carry each and every bucket will be given them some amount of money in return. So both A and B, actually the character names are Bruno and Pluto. To make it simple, I name them as A and B. So A and B both started carrying two buckets with both the hands. And then for every bucket they are carrying, they are making money. They are so happy. They are like celebrating. A has celebrated like anything. A used to enjoy his day, and suddenly B is observed that he vanishes after his work day. He vanishes. He's not visible during his weekends. He's not been available in any of the parties. He's not been seen in any of the gatherings, and people were surprised to know what this fellow is doing. Well, weeks went by, months went by, and suddenly after a couple of years, suddenly the water started to gush into the well, and the villagers were surprised to see that there was a pipeline laid all the way from the pond to the well. Of course, this is built by B, and now even if B is sleeping at home, he is making money because his pipeline is already built. Of course, it is a hard work that he has put in for a couple of years, but it has been successful. Now, if you observe, A has done nothing wrong, but he has lost his job. Now, that's what we say is active income and passive income. Are we still carrying our buckets, or are we actually building pipelines? Of course, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors haven't helped us with any of the foundation about these pipelines. But today, there is a very big chance that people are making money, literally money, my dear friends, not change, not hundreds, not thousands, literally making money from this beautiful concept that I'm going to explain you in the couple of coming slides. Well, Robert T. Kiyosaki, who is a famous author and a financial advisor of the book The Rich Dad Poor Dad, he explained that all the ethical and legally money earning people can be divided into four simple groups: ESBI, employees, self employees, big businesses, and investors. And he has again divided these categories into two subcategories, which are called left and right. And if the analysis is carried forward a little, then it is realized that left side people, who are the employees and self employees, are 90% of the population, and the whole 95% of the population is having the control over 5% of the wealth. Of course, you may be thinking, yes, whatever you are thinking right now is correct. The right side people are only 5% and they are actually controlling 95% of the wealth. The reason is the left side people are working for money and the right side people build systems that work for money and they don't need to work for money. And the left is called the active income, we work for money. And the right side is called passive income, money works for us. The only thing difference is we have to change from left to right. If you are ready to convert from left to right. Let me explain you the philosophy of wealth creation. Not making money, my dear friends, it is about making wealth. The simplest concept is nothing but power of duplication. Let me explain you what it is. How much money you make is always dependent on the manpower that you invest and the time that is given to a particular task. Now we all have 100, let's say I am the only breadwinner of the home and I have the 100% responsibility on me. So if something happens to me, that 100% work is getting stopped. But the rich people, what does they do different is they break down that 100% work and divide it with among 100 people with 1% each. And now let's see, even 10 people got sick, his 90% of the work is getting done. That's how the rich people are getting richer and poor people are getting poorer. Let's take the examples. Let's take the roadside sabji wala, the person who sells vegetables to us. He has a limited amount of time, he has limited people, and so he has limited income. And that is the principle of poverty that we have been watching all these days. Now let's say Reliance Fresh have opened a mall today. And what he does is he employs unlimited amount of people. So he gets unlimited time. So the product is unlimited income. Now let's take a small another example. A roadside salon barber guy. He takes money home after doing a full day job. And what happens if his power or ability is lost? And that's where comes the concept by Javed Habib. He is an amazing industrialist. He realized that Javed Habib has realized, why can't I put my brand name and make money even when I'm sleeping? So the moment he got this idea, he started opening couple of stores. He has trained, he has duplicated his team members in how to do the same hairstyles just like him. And now, even if he's not available in the store, he's making money. Now you may be asking, all these are just roadside jobs, Omkar. What about the people who are earning bigger checks? Like the lawyers, the doctors. Yeah, let's take the example of a doctor. All these days we have been thinking during the pandemic, doctors were making enough money to become rich and successful in their lives. But let me ask you, if the doctor himself or herself got affected with corona, infected with corona, what could be the scenario? Is the doctor still eligible to operate on the person? No. Then what happens with the money capability, money making capability of that doctor? And that's where Dr. Bathurst, Dr. Ramesh, Rainbow Hospitals have decided that. Let me ask you a simple question. How many times have you met Dr. Ramesh in Dr. Ramesh's hospital? I doubt you met him at least once because he is making money even when he is sleeping. So he only treats the VIP clients, and that is the power of duplication. Till now, we have gone through the power of pipeline, the power of wealth creation, and now let's see the power of network. This is also an extract from the beautifully amazing self-help book, The Business of the 21st Century, The Business School by Robert T. Kiyosaki. From chapter 12, asset 4, The Power of Your Own Network. Thomas Alva Edison was one of my rich dad's heroes. People today often think of Edison as the inventor of the light bulb, but this is not true. Note this point, my dear friends, that is not true because when Edison is famous for tinkering with the light bulb and perfecting the company that strung the electric lines that allowed the light bulb to penetrate society, that was what he has built and made the light bulb the most revolutionized. Because without a network of lines, let me read the next line. What made Edison's business so revolutionary was not the light bulb itself, but the system of electrical lines and relay stations that powered light bulb. It was the network. And even in one of the other points of this book is my rich dad told me that richest people in the world would build networks. Everyone else looks for work. As per Metcalfe's law, Robert Metcalfe, the founder of 3Com and one of the creators of Ethernet is credited with creating an equation that defines the value of networks. It is V is equals to n raised to the power 2. In other words, a network's economic value equals the number of network's users squared. You may own a mobile, but without a network of cables, routers, data transfer equipment, a mobile is just another piece of isolated technology. Now let's understand what is the power of network marketing and what beautiful, amazing people of the history were speaking about network marketing. Warren Buffett, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, APJ Abdul Kalam is saying network marketing is the fastest growing business of 21st century, which must be joined by every young man. Just understand the importance of network marketing. The general myths versus the facts of general network marketing. Number one, direct selling companies are all pyramid schemes. Unfortunately, few bad players in the industry gave this impression on direct selling. But let me ask you a simple question. Are you working in any organization, in a company, or or for the government? How does that organization structure looks like? Doesn't it look like the topmost person? Under him, around 2 to 3 people. Under them, there are around couple of vice presidents. Under them, there are the middle management. Under them, there are team leaders, supervisors, managers, and under them, there are hardworking employees. And if I put that into an organizational structure, doesn't that look like a pyramid scheme? Then, did you deny the offer that your company has given to you when you were searching for a job? Well, the pyramid scheme is not a wrong thing if you really think in this way, isn't it? Well, let's go to the next myth. The direct selling model involves high financial risks for those involved. If you feel so, there are many companies that provide free startup costs without being there. Work out your talent, your capability working with those companies. If you want a suggestion, I have done a little more research and I would be able to give you a suggestion upon that as well. The third myth. The primary reason people get involved in direct selling is to make a large income. Well, I have personally seen people who are passionate in helping people than making money. I have seen hundreds of people who are dedicated in making this planet a beautiful place by making others, by empowering others, by creating leaders than making money. A majority of people involved in direct selling never make a profit. Oh, is it? Let me ask you a simple question. A majority of Olympics players wouldn't win gold, silver, or bronze. We all know hundreds of people will fight for the gold, silver, and bronze, but only 3 people are eligible to get it. It all depends on the skill and the readiness to learn, apply, and duplicate. That's it. Direct selling sellers are not real entrepreneurs. This is a very big pain that I have whenever some people say this to me when I speak about direct selling. Just because the product isn't yours, just because you cannot invest, you are not investing in the product, just because you don't own an office, that doesn't make you a fake entrepreneur if you start a direct selling company. Just, it's all about the mindset, my dear friends, as I say always. Direct selling industry is unregulated. Oh my dear. India and of course many other countries have come up with hundreds of regulations, acts, norms and rules over direct selling industry. Only the high level executives make all the money is another biggest myth. Of course, there is no problem. But let me ask you a simple question. Well, CEO makes more money than a team lead, isn't it? But here there is an equal opportunity to become unequal. If you want to know more, just let me know in the comment section or let me also know in the chat box. Just say me a hi and ask me a detailed question. I'll be able to answer you. Let's go for the further myths versus facts slides. Direct sale products are of low quality. This is a little more, racist, I would say. Just because you have been habituated to something where you have to get that advertised on your television, on your radio, on your hoardings, only then it makes it pricey. At the same time, it makes it quality product. If you think so, then you are almost a racist. So I have seen so many products which are with higher discounts with even more quality than a market product. Network marketing is an illegal pyramid. As informed earlier, as I already informed earlier, few bad players in the industry give this impression on direct selling. But this is not true. Network marketing uses people. Oh dear. What do you mean by use people? Core motivation of a network marketing company is to help people. So obvious answer of mine is no. Eventually the program will get saturated. Well, this is a very decent valid question that people asks. Well, let me answer it in a very innovative way. Education system, FMCG market, dairy, pharma, and farming industry should also be saturated by now. But let me explain it in a more demographical way. Tim Sales in Zig Ziglar's Network Marketing for Dummies book, a report, he mentioned that and he offered the best argument against this saturation myth. And he asks, do you know anyone who doesn't have a refrigerator? No, right? That doesn't stop GE from selling more of them, is it? So there is no such concept called saturation for direct selling. Network marketing doesn't work. Oh well. According to the World Federation of Direct Selling Association in 2014, the direct sales industry grossed $182 billion rupees globally. Well, as we are speaking in India, the direct selling industry is estimated to be 74 billion rupees industry during 2014-15 with a potential to reach the size of 645 billion rupees by 2025, and it has already reached somewhere near around 350 to 500 billion rupees by 2020. And this is all according to the recent KPMG report. What's actually happening? Let us understand what's actually happening to us, to you, to me, to every single person on this planet who is working with this economic system. There is a customer or an employee who works for someone's dream to make a livelihood, earns salary at the end of the month, and he of course has his own needs, his own homely needs to fulfill. So he goes to a shopping outlet which produces goods or monthly products that shall be sold, may be owned by other companies or corporates, have obviously collaborated with celebrities for marketing their products. And now that money is being reinvested into the organizations which provides jobs to the same employee or the customer that we have spoken and pays out monthly salaries. And of course, let's take a small example of Tata's. They own a corporate company where employees work. They also own FMCG products like salt and what not. They are into everything right now. So now what does it mean? Literally, an employee working with Tata's corporation, again paying to Tata's corporation, that means he's just a mediator to transfer money from the same organization to another organization and converting his energy into products and leaving behind nothing to his family. So a customer or an employee earning money from his or her day job, is again giving away the same hard-earned money to another organization to make them rich. When will you, me, we, customers can become rich? The basic concept of direct selling is very simple. To get a product into the hand of a customer, there are multiple levels. The first one is the manufacturer who produces the component. Next is the distributor, then the wholesaler, and then the retailer. There's a chain upon which every person is having their own share of profit. Again, there would be advertisements to let the customers know about the product availability and other information like the quality and whatnot. And then we have brand ambassadors to motivate the loyal fans into loyal customers. And at the end, the end user who uses the product. Now, the problem here is if there is no manufacturer, will this whole chain be available? If there is no customer or the consumer, will this whole chain be available? The unfortunate part is both of them are not actually getting benefited. Let me show you how. In the same basic concept, a manufacturer would manufacture a product for 100 rupees and takes a little percentage overhead upon it and makes it 106 rupees. And that 106 will be converted from distributor to wholesaler. It becomes a 3% each profit, so it converts into 106 rupees. And now the advertisements increases the price to 112 rupees, and the brand ambassadors, the investment on brand ambassadors and using the jerseys of this product, all that stuff, it will increase the product's price to 122 rupees. From there, of course, the retailer who is owning a warehouse, he has to put on overheads, sales executives, maintenance, whatnot. What happens to that person is he increases 122 rupees product to 131.77, which means 30 to 40% of the price is getting hiked when the customer is taking it over into his hands. The basic marketing revolution. Let me show you how it happens. First, the conventional marketing, as I said, and then came the shopping malls. What they have done is they have eliminated the earlier first stage, the retailers and the wholesalers. So now they are almost saving around 6%, 6 to 9%. So what they did is they are going to give that out to the customer in the form of a benefit, which they call it as offers, which they call it as combo packs and all that. And then they realized there is even more potential of avoiding big buildings, leases, and other security insurance risks. So then came a new revolutionary business concept called e-commerce, or online shopping, of course. But there again, if you realize, the marketer or the manufacturer is not going to advertise, but the giants, the e-commerce giants like Amazon and Flipkart has to run their own advertisements to let them know that they are selling such kind of a product. Well, and then came the even more advanced concept called direct selling. So the best way to make money is by direct selling and you building a network, and that's what is called network marketing. Now the different types of multi-level marketing business models are here. Let me explain to you one by one. The first one, or the most beautiful one, is a hybrid, which is having the advantages of all the three that I'm going to explain now. Let me go from like last to first. The fourth one is a breakaway, in which there will be two groups of distributors. One is a salespeople and the other one is the sales leaders. What happens is, first, the salespeople have to earn a lot of commissions, like they have to make so much of sales, and once they reach a position, only then they will be promoted as sales leaders, where they can build teams. So that's why it is called break away from a salesperson to a sales leader. And then came the uni level. The uni level is like you have to build substantial organization, and all the frontliners or the immediate recruitees of yours are going to define the business that you are going to make. And this is a very good option for part-timers who just want to have some pocket money. And the next one is the binary. This like have a right leg, left leg, A leg, B leg, power leg, profit leg, and the lowest volume leg is responsible for the commission that the person makes. So this is a very tricky concept, of course. And then came the most important or the most advantageous one is called the hybrid, which is having all the advantages and it is very simple to explain to the newcomers. Now let's compare each and everything. The characteristics, the advantages, the disadvantages. The breakaways characteristics, as I said earlier, you have to break away and then you can start your own team. And in the uni level, you have to create the frontliners, substantial organization of the frontliners. In the binary, you will be responsible for the lowest leg responsible. And the hybrid is these days called the generation plan, the hybrid plan. It's like the combination of all. And then comes the advantages of each. Breakaway has been around 50 years into the market, stable and safe plan, but yet not so attractive. The uni level, because there is no breakaway, it is easier for the newcomers to understand it and to stay in the organization for a good amount of time. But the binary's advantages are only you need to focus on just two legs, unlike any other models, and very simple to explain and let them start up. You just need to say, hey, you know what? You don't need to worry about everything. You just introduce two people, and those people will start introducing two to people, and you would make money a lot. Of course, there are so many T and C terms and conditions, quote unquote, you have to undergo. And hybrid is attractive to newcomers. It is a generations plan, and it will be having the potential to help your generation, next generation, the next generation. Like, it's a humongous, beautiful concept that I introduce you to as hybrid. The disadvantages of breakaway are the payment is complex. As I said earlier, you have to first be a salesperson, and then being a salesperson, you get your commissions. Once you reach to a person where sales leader, your sales or your commission is a little complicated, tricky, and the whole concept is a little complicated, of course. And then in the uni level, you have to develop 10 or more frontline leaders, and the success rate is enormously low. In binary, it is very frustrating for newcomers because you would get very less check in the beginning phases. And you have to focus on one leg. If you focus on one leg, it would fetch you no decent commissions, let me tell you, way upfront of it. And in hybrid, I don't find any disadvantages yet. Now, if I give a little good rating upon each and everything, breakaway, I found it as 7 out of 10, uni level 6 out of 10, binary, forget it, 3 out of 10, and hybrid 8.5 out of 10 out of 10. There are six different kinds of direct sellers, so that I am going to explain you about them. If you are already into network marketing, this would really help you. So pick up a notepad and a pen and record each and every point I'm going to tell you. The ultimate users, they generate your point value, they just generate you some good business point value, and that's it. Never sells a product, and they are in for a wholesale and or a discount product. The short timers, they don't you know build big businesses, go deep into their depths. Like when I say depth, there is two concepts called depth and width. What does it mean by width? Width is nothing but your frontliners, and depth is nothing but their downlines and downlines. Well, now go as depth as possible when you come across our short timers, and they are very specific objective oriented. Let's say they are like they come into the business just to make enough money for their sister's marriage, for Christmas celebrations, for festival celebrations, and that's it. And the next one are the career entrepreneurs. They want to grow this as a career, they want to make this business as a career, and they have to see the possibilities. Once they have seen the possibilities and the potential, you cannot stop them at any point. They are going to bring humongous business, that I can assure you upon. And the last one is the socially conscious people, those who are actually worried about their own country and making this planet a better place. The people whom are just like you, who want to grow and make this planet a better place, create leaders in the in this on this planet, make everybody rich, empower everybody they encounter. Once you find that kind of a person, you already found yourself, and convert or empower him into a leader, and you are going to, like, you both are going to have a ball of time, let me tell you. Everyone is a good person, don't forget it. Don't look at a person like a money making machine or a PV generating machine, yet you are in volume business. So try to grab as much opportunity as possible. So do not leave any possibility and opportunity to make business out of anybody. The proper networker, what does he do every single day? He will be having a rigid vision, but he will be having a flexible mission. He would always put milestones like, 30 days I have to have these many people in my team, 60 days I have to create this much of business, 90 days I have to reach this kind of a pin or leadership position or whatever it is. And they have a date that is planned. They always communicate with the people who are their uplines, or they continuously communicate who are their downlines, so that there would be enough transparency and duplication is quick and easy. They continuously use products, of course, the 100% of the products. And as I always, in a funny way, I say, even if your neighbor's daughter is so cute, you always kiss your own daughter, isn't it? Obviously, even if you see an amazing product outside the market, you have to use your own company products, dude. And they always gets plugged into an education system so that they are getting trained and they get updated. They'll keep hydrated from whatever they want to be. Few call them core steps, few call them monthly mandates, few call them honoring the partnership, few call them the, whatever they call it, but the end goal is the same. Points to keep in mind when you are entering into a multi-level marketing. First of all, understand the model of the multi-level marketing. Choose the right one. There is no fixed one. Do not go with my ratings because it is completely subjected to person. Somebody thinks binary is the easiest way to make money, but for me it doesn't work. So don't take it my recommendations as a hardcore values. Then consider the point value. What is BV versus PV of that company? How much is the company business volume and how much is the point value with respect to the business volume? Every multi-level marketing should have it. And if you are into a multi-level marketing, understand that and understand how much is the PV by BV value. The more PV by BV is, the more you make the money. Well, and then the reputation of the parent organization is very important. The product catalog, the long list, variety, brand value of the product. Let's say you have been associated with a very amazing company, but the product or the parent organization isn't having a good reputation. You would never been able to make a single sale. Or even you can make good amount of sales, but you will not be able to make money, significant money, of course. Well, keep tracking the multi-level marketing, which is having an education system because it keeps you hydrated. The mindset is very important, my dear friends. Here it's not about making money, it's about being a leader in your life. And then the sponsor and the upline who is introducing you into the business is also very much important. Of course, how successful is that person is important. At the same time, how many leaders did he create till now is also important. Only then he knows how to create a leader, how to bring up the leader within you. The steps involved are very simple. The first step would be get in touch with a person whom you would want to uh, build the business with, and then get started with that person. Obviously, we are into a product business, as I said. Help them get started with their first purchase. And the third step is don't continuously be behind them. Take some consistent feedback, which is important, yet give them some enough space and time to use the products and then like talk back to them. Then try to find your own self in the business. This is all about duplication. If you found yourself just like you, another candidate just like you are going to be a humongous, beautiful person making enough for generations in this business. The most important aspects of multi-level marketing are very simple. If you imagine yourself as an aeroplane, then the both wings should be your dream or the goal that you want to lead with. Anything calibrated gets better, as they say. So keep checking and have milestones. And the next other wing is your sponsor or the upline. Starting a business could be a very important step. So, most importantly, understand how successful is your sponsor and explain your strategy, get his strategies. Like, have that understanding between your expectations and their expectations, and only then it will work miracles for you. Apart from this, you will not be able to like fly in the air without having your runway or the land place or whatever you call the ground or whatever it is, and that is your customers, who are your relatives, friends, and network. Choose the right one. Choose the like-minded people. Feel like you are recruiting for your own startup. Don't just recruit the whole dump and then you cry saying that, hey, you know what, my team is like sloppy, they are not doing enough business, because you haven't chosen the right people. That's as simple as that. Direct selling success secrets are here. I'm going to share it with you. If you are having a notepad, do record everything. If you don't, get a notepad and record each and everything. Be visible. Be visible in the sense, be visible that you, for example, if somebody hears about a network marketing company, they should remember your face. Be that visible. Share photos and proofs to people who, like, everybody wants proofs, so share them. Market well. Don't hurt anyone's feelings. Well, speak up positivity. Do not speak negativity. The simplest concept is, if you speak negativity about any other company, obviously you can speak about the same company that you are working today once you are not no more associated with this company. That message will make you a little unapproachable. Be transparent and vulnerable. Share your deepest, darkest secrets related to the company, and share why it is important when you are sharing it. And they will be happy to work with you. Forget about the company, dear friends. In multi level marketing, people will join you, not the company, not your upline, not your sponsor. Become an objection handling expert. As I said, there are just enough objections that are already pre-recorded, and the answers are also very well known. So you can actually understand those objections. And I'm actually running my own podcast in which you can go through all the objections. There are around like 4 to 5 real objections that people would ask you when you are explaining the plan, and then you have around hardly 10-15 objections that anybody would ask you throughout their journey. So I'm going to do that series, and you can go through it in Anchor, in Spotify, in Google Podcast, in Apple Podcast, in everywhere. You can just Google Omkara Chitrala, then you will find my podcast. Then you would get the main title that you are looking for. You can simply become successful by being happy. Yes, you heard me right. Just be happy, enjoy every process, and showcase the same. People shall automatically come to your business. Well, my dear friends, this is my last slide. Of course, as I said, this is anyway expenses, anyway money, but whom would you ask? Would you ask Sachin Tendulkar about acting skills? Would you ask Hrithik Roshan about cricket skills? Or would you ask the other way around? My smart advice would be, ask an emperor about building an empire, not a random guy. Would you ask a monthly planner who has no clue about networking, who is very good but not qualified enough to answer you? Or would you ask a generations planner who networks daily and finds very rarely? For listening to me so far. If you're having any further questions, I would love to answer them. Do let me know your questions in the comment section below. Or you can also drop me a message. You can just go to Google and search Omkara Chitrala and you would find me. Thank you. This is Omkara Chitrala signing off.